In honor of St. Patrick's Day, I've decided to revisit the 90s cult classic Leprechaun. Filmed in 1991 and released in 1993, the movie is probably best known for being the film debut of Jennifer Aniston. Leprechaun would go on to spawn 8 films in the franchise, with the newest, Leprechaun Returns, having a Sci-Fi Channel debut this St. Patrick's Day. Not bad for a low-budget 90s horror movie. I first saw Leprechaun when I was 12 years old. It was a Friday night, and my dad took my friend and I to the local video store to choose some movies. That night, we picked Leprechaun and another new release, Dr. Giggles. I did some research and found that Leprechaun was released on VHS on April 7th, 1993. Dr. Giggles was released on April 28th, 1993. Both films had just come out on VHS and were still located in the new release section of the video store. Looking at an old calendar from 1993 shows that we most likely watched both movies on the evening of Friday, April 30th, 1993. Why this matters, I have no idea. Leprechaun begins with an old man bragging to his wife about stealing a leprechaun's gold.
A pot of gold! A wee person, a leprechaun!
She dismisses him as being drunk, but it turns out he's actually telling the truth.
I want me gold now! Oh God, no!
Warwick Davis, of Willow fame, plays the murderous little guy to perfection.
An eye for an eye, me dear.
So the old man seals the leprechaun in a crate. He traps him inside by setting a 4-leaf clover on top of it. Apparently this is the only way to stop a leprechaun. A stroke stops him from setting the crate on fire. 10 years later, a single dad and his teenage daughter purchase the house, which has been empty since the incident. And conveniently enough, the 4-leaf clover is still on top of the crate, undisturbed. Jennifer Aniston plays 90s girl Tori, complete with a portable phone and LA Gear shoes. The house is being painted by 2 brothers and their friend, who apparently spent a lot of time coming up with their business name. But hey, I like it. It's simple and gets to the point. Maybe I'll change my YouTube channel name as an homage. At this rate, it couldn't hurt. Have you seen my subscriber count lately? Yikes. The older brother, Nathan, is played by Ken Olant, an actor I've always liked since I first saw him in April Fool's Day and Summer School. He was also in an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation, Bloodlines, from Season 7. Great episode. His younger brother, Alex, is played by the kid from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. And their friend, the mentally challenged Ozzy, was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Teen Wolf. Lots of familiar faces in this movie. So Ozzy and Alex spot a rainbow and conveniently find a bag of gold at the end of it. Ozzy eventually goes into the basement and accidentally unleashes the leprechaun, who wants nothing more than his stolen gold and will kill to get it.
Tell me, or I'll bite your ear off, and I'll make a boot out of it.
Leprechaun is an interesting movie in that it shifts from goofy to violent pretty quickly. Apparently it was written and filmed as a PG-13 kids movie, but the producers were unhappy with the results and ordered reshoots to add in gore and violence. I'm so glad they did, and surprisingly the shifting tone works pretty well. It gives the movie a more lighthearted feel with the added bonus of blood and guts. My favorite kill is death by pogo stick.
This old lep, he played one, he played pogo on his lawn.
Good stuff. The cast is solid and really likable. They play off each other very well, which adds to the overall sense of fun. Even the kid isn't too bad, and he actually has the best line in the film.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
The direction by Mark Jones is a little flat at times, but there are some stylish touches throughout. So the phone scene looks kind of familiar, but it's cool though. The movie was made when practical effects were still in full force, and it includes some great stuff. The makeup and look of the leprechaun is flawless, no doubt aided by the excellent performance from Warwick Davis. And I love how the buckle on his shoe is actually a shiv. Evil little bastard. So any flaws? Well, like I said, it's a pretty goofy movie at times, but I like that it doesn't take itself too seriously. It probably could have toned down some of it, but honestly, I really didn't have much of a problem with it. There were a few sequences that looked a bit too dark, which I don't remember being an issue with the VHS tape, so maybe it's just the Blu-ray transfer. In the end, I highly recommend checking out this movie. It's a lot of fun, and if you don't take things too seriously, you'll have a great time. As for the sequels, I watched them up until he went into outer space. I didn't see the ones that came after, and to be honest, I can't really remember the sequels I did see, as it's been so many years. I recently got the Blu-ray set, so I think a rewatch is in order. And I have to note, the newest movie, Leprechaun Returns, ignores all the sequels and takes place after the first one. Unfortunately, Warwick Davis didn't want to return, as he's apparently sworn off horror movies after becoming a dad. Pretty lame. But I'm looking forward to seeing the new movie and revisiting the rest of the sequels in the franchise. So what do you think of the Leprechaun franchise? Let me know in the comments.